Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll be discussing question number 16 from 2023 Indian Economic Service Exam, General Economics Part 3, right? So in this question, we've been given some details. Firstly, that we are given the quantity or price demand curves with for two firms, Q1, Q2. These are your demand curves. Then we are also given your cost function, that is your C1 and C2 for both the firms. Now, firstly, the first part of this question asks you that what is the price reaction curve for each of the firm with the assumption that it maximizes its profit with respect to its own price. Now, this is very important in the sense that if you are going to calculate marginal cost and marginal revenue, that would be with respect to the own price of the firm, right? So let's start off with the firm one. So firm one's reaction curve, right? Now for this cost function, C1 is equal to, it is given here 10Q1. Now, as we have to differentiate or find out the maximum profit with respect to its own price, so we need to convert this cost function in terms of prices. So we'll be substituting the value of Q1 from here, right? And this would become 10 into 88 minus 4P1 plus 2P2, right? So ultimately, your C1 would become 880 minus 40P1 plus 20P2. Now, calculating the marginal cost curve with respect to the own price, it will be minus 40. So this is your marginal cost. On the other hand, we are given Q1 is equal to 88 minus 4P1 plus 2P2. Now we have to find total revenue for firm 1. That will be equal to Q1 into P1, right? So this will ultimately turn out to be 88P1 minus 4P1 square plus 2P1 P2, right? And if we have to equate marginal cost and marginal revenue, so we have to find out marginal revenue for firm 1, that will be DTR with respect to the price, right? So this will be equal to your 88 minus 8P1 plus 2P2, right? Now again, just to remind you why we are differentiating it with respect to prices, because it is mentioned in the question itself, right? So now when we equate marginal revenue for firm 1 equal to marginal cost for firm 1, we get 88 minus 8P1 plus 2P2, which will be equal to minus 40, right? So when we solve this equation, we get P1 is equal to 16 plus 1 by 4 P2. So this is the reaction curve of firm 1. How will the firm 1 change its price with respect to the price of firm 2, right? Okay. Similarly, for firm 2's reaction curve, we have to follow the same strategy. That is, your C2 is equal to 8Q2, right? So that will be equal to 8 into 56 plus 2P1 minus 4P2. Okay, so this will be equal to 448 plus 16P1 minus 32P2. This will be your total cost. So if we find the marginal cost for firm 2 with respect to P2 now, so DC2 by DP2. So this will be equal to minus 32, right? Similarly, to calculate MR2, we have TR2 will be equal to P2 into Q2, right? So that will be come out to be 56P2 plus 2P1 P2 minus 4P2 square. Okay, so MR2, which will be DTR2 with respect to DP2, will come out to be 56 plus 2, 56 plus 2P1 minus 8P2. Okay, so equating MC2 with MR2, we'll ultimately solve it to get P2 is equal to 11 plus 1 by 4 P1. So this will be the reaction curve of firm 2, in the sense that how will the firm 2 react with the change or with the price of firm 1, right? Now, if we see the coefficients, right? So they're both 1 by 4 for both the reaction curves, right? So the slopes of both the reaction curve would be 1 by 4. Okay, so this was part 1 of the question, right? Now, discussing on to the part 2. Determine the equilibrium values of price, quantity, and profit for each firm, right? So now we know the reaction curve. So we'll just write it once, that the reaction curves P1 is equal to 16 plus 1 by 4P2. This is firm 1's reaction curve, and P2 will be equal to 11 plus 1 by 4P1. Okay, so now when we substitute the value of P2 in firm 1's reaction curve, we get P1 is equal to 16 plus 11 by 4, right, plus 1 by 16 P1. Okay, and when we take P1 on one side and solve it, we get 15 by 16 P1 will be equal to 11 plus 64 by 4. So once you simplify it, we get P1 is equal to 20. So equilibrium price for firm 1 would be equal to 20, right? Similarly, if we have to find P2, we have to take its reaction curve, which will be 11 plus 1 by 4 P1. Okay, so when we substitute the value of P1, right? So we get P2 is equal to 11 plus 1 by 4, 16 plus 1 by 4 P2. Okay, now when we solve it, we get P2 minus 1 by 16 P2 will be equal to 15. So solving it further, we get price for firm 2, equilibrium price for firm 2 equal to 60. Okay, so we've got equilibrium price as 20 for firm 1 and equilibrium price for firm 2 to be 16. Now, when we substitute these values in the respective, quantity functions, demand functions, we get Q1 is equal to 88 minus 4 into 20 plus 2 into 16, which will come out to be Q1 is equal to 40, right? So this is equilibrium. So this is equilibrium firm for equilibrium quantity for firm 1. And similarly for Q2 equal to 56 plus 2 into 20 minus 4 into 16, we calculate it to be Q2 equal to 32. This is your equilibrium quantity for firm 2, right? Now, when we substitute these price and quantity functions into our total revenue 1 and total cost 1 functions, so we get total revenue 1 to be 800 and total cost 1 to be 400. So profit for firm 1, maximum profit for firm 1 would be TR1 minus TC1, which will be equal to 400, right? And similarly, TR2 will be equal to 16 into 32. This is simply, we have calculated TR1 and TR2 as price into quantity demanded, right? So 16 into 32, which will come out to be 5112. And T total cost for firm 2 would be equal to 256, right? And profit for firm 2 would come out to be 256. 512 minus 256, right? So price, equilibrium price for firm 1 is 20, equilibrium quantity for firm 1 is equal to 40, and profit for firm 1 is equal to 400, right? Then equilibrium price for firm 2 comes out to be 16. Equilibrium quantity for firm 2 comes out to be 32. And profit for firm 2 comes out to be 256. So this is the solution to your question. Hope you've understood. If you have any queries, feel free to share that with us. Thank you so much. Have a good day.